Hey guys, I'm looking at the lunch and PM session delivery right now, and I can't stop being amazed at how these gaps deliver price. It's mind blowing. Look at that. Something I spoke about before. This orange box is the first presented fair value gap after 11:30. So I told you several times this is the lunch gap. I call it the lunch gap. Many times it's used during the PM session in order to send price um, in a predetermined direction to a pool of liquidity, up or down, depending on the day, of course. But just look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Reaction here. Then we go into 1 o'clock. We go down, back to the gap. One more time, back to it. 2 o'clock, your macro and your silver bullet. Silver bullet for the PM session between 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. And so many times, guys, it happens all the time. I want you to go on the charts and study this. So many times, 2 o'clock price will refer back to the launch gap, not to the 130, which also it did after it traded through it, but the launch gap starts to move. Okay, and then you have the 130 first presented fair value gap, which actually occurred at more like 150. There is a small little gap here, but that's like it's like 1 point. It's very insignificant, and Michael advises not to use them when they are so small. So you're gonna use this one that formed at 150. Okay. But back to the launch gap. Okay, so this is the model that you have, and I presented to you many times before. Look how things blend together. So we trade through it, we go back to it. This here, 120, is out of the macro hour. So if you're gonna use the model that I told you, like failure on the return, failure to close above it, then you have to take the first fair value gap that forms on the way down. When it displaces, it's going to be this one. Okay, but it's maybe mark it. It's a really small gap, first of all. Secondly, it's out of the macro. The range to this low is rather small. Like you have to have a good enough range. It's like 25 points. It's not really bad. It's tradable. Your stop has to be above this order block. So that would be above consequent encroachment of the fair value gap. But the risk to return is not good. Okay, the risk to return will be rather small. It's going to be like what is it? 1 hour. Okay, so it's not optimal. Let's say. Okay, but then if you just wait a little bit more, price returns back to the launch gap at 2 o'clock. Okay, and then at 2 o'clock, just look what happens. Okay, we sweep that high. Look at that small little imbalance, another imbalance here, sweep the high, and then huge displacement down, completely closing this BC with a CB. Okay, that's your venom. Okay, you have relative equal highs also here. If you take this high, it was also swept. Okay, look. swept with a BC on the way up and then a CB on the way down. That's what you want to see. And then this now is the model that I was teaching you, okay? Return to the launch first presented fair value gap, then take the next displacement down. Look where the displacement starts from. That's important, okay? Displacement starts from the low of the gap all the way down, okay? And then once we trade into it, that will be your entry here, like this, okay? Stop loss should be above here, unfortunately, rather large. Because of the volume imbalance here, you also have to include the candle that the first candle of the CB. These are my rules, guys. Of course, back test it so you understand it better. And you can target the next logical liquidity, which I think it will be Asia's low. So ultimately, I think price is driving towards here, but we're still some way off. So market maker sell model, you can target this, which just delivered. I think we're gonna go even lower. I might be wrong, just my opinion. There is more liquidity built here. So, and if you turn on your sessions, I think London low is suspect and should be taken, and ultimately Asia low. Okay. That's what I'm looking at. I'm not gonna trade it. I'm done for today. Made a solid back this morning, so I'm not gonna force any trades now till the rest of the day. But I just wanted to show you how all these things that we are talking about in the last few months, they keep repeating. They keep repeating all the time. All you have to do is pay attention, focus on specific time of day when you want to execute. Okay, let's say you want to trade the PM session. I'm advising you look from 2 to 3 PM. That's when these things will blend together. It might not be every single day, but it's going to be at least 2 or 3 times a week. So that's more than enough to take one high quality setup that's going to give you, like, look at this, it's like 150 points. That's massive, guys. That's massive move. So anyway, I hope you like this one, and I hope that you saw it yourself before watching this video. If not, then I advise you just go on your charts, scroll back to previous days, draw these gaps. Okay, so there is 3 significant gaps for the daily delivery, and these are the gaps after the first one after 9:30 that ICT teaches, the first gap after 1:30 p.m. that ICT also teaches, and the one that he didn't teach is the one after 11:30. That's the launch gap, also very, very important, very relevant. As you can see, price uses this one for as part of the PM delivery as well. Okay. Anyway, guys, I hope you like this one. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, help me grow the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video.